Hello, cats and kittens. Hola, Jose, Yoroshku. We back in the crisis corner. I got Dave with me. Say hey, Dave.
What's up, people?
All right, so we're giving basically our impressions on God's Valley. And as I said in my last video, this is not an Oda bashing, whatever. I ain't got no gripes with Oda. I really don't have no gripes with God's Valley, except for the fact that it's, as I stated, I think it's intrusive.
Okay.
My opinion is that you don't need this level of battle interrupting what's going on in Elbad. The only thing that I needed to know from this um, flashback was why is Loki blamed for his father's death? That's the question that I needed answered. We know thematically they're going to set up that Loki's not a bad guy because that's the classic thing. You introduce a dude where he's supposed to be evil, or everybody says he's evil, but we find out that he's not as evil as people think. So then we need to know, why do people think that he's evil? Did he kill his father? And if so, if not, what actually happened? And at the beginning of the flashback, it looks like that's what we was gonna get. Because we see my man, he got jumped, I think, by like 10 dudes. Harold got jumped by 10 dudes and stabbed up. That was like the starting point. So I was like, oh, okay, so we're going to backtrack and find out why he got stabbed. Then went back. Then we started talking about rocks. Then we started talking about God Valley. And I'm like, yo, why did they stab Harold? Now we backtrack and we going, apparently, next chapter, we going back to Harold.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so first of all, how do you feel about God's Valley on the whole?
So I think on the whole, I find that I probably am closer to where you're lining up in that it is somewhat intrusive. It feels like a guidance. It feels like an offshoot or something because some of this stuff doesn't necessarily relate to the flashback or gives us information like whose perspective is this. If this is supposed to be Loki's telling this story to Luffy, that's the direction this flashback is coming from. We don't Loki doesn't know what was going on God Valley. He wasn't there. He didn't see this kind of stuff unfold. So I agree with you in that regard. It could be to the point where Oda didn't necessarily know how else he was going to fit this information in there. So I don't know. Maybe that's where it is. I think overall, though, I do. I mean, I'm enjoying it for the most part, but it is a bit of a head scratcher because it's a hard deviation from
Mm-hmm.
a Loki flashback. This
Mm.
is we've long passed the point where this was a Loki flashback. This is something different.
And I hadn't thought about that. How did he come by this information? Some of it, everything up until we left um, Harold,
Uh-huh.
and well, everything up until when he saw Harold got stabbed. I got you because he eyewitnessed that.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff with rocks because he was there. He talked to
Came to
rocks.
the
Okay,
island.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Uh-huh.
fine. Now, as far as going back into Rock's side of things and where he ran in and all that shaky and all of that stuff. She got kidnapped. I don't know how he came by that information. I mean, somebody told
well,
him that. I don't know. I
well,
really
I
don't.
mean, the idea could be, because it makes it clear that Shaky being kidnapped was a game changer. It changed the world.
Oh yeah,
Everybody,
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So maybe it's some information that may be public knowledge, but when you get into the specifics, I don't know, man. Like I'm like, this is it's like I said, it stopped being a Loki flashback. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is, you know, Oda took an opportunity and he was like, well, you know what? I mean, if I'm here, I might as well. So,
This is
it,
information that was going to have to come out. That's
yeah,
true.
and maybe he didn't know any other way to bring it out.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting to the end of the run.
Uh-huh.
He could have got some of this out earlier, but whatever. That's fine. I don't have so much issues with the timing. It's just, I mean, the Yeah, the timing is a little bit off, but the information itself is fine. It's kind of truncated though, because he couldn't put it like this. If this was a manga called Rogers, all right. If this was Rogers manga, Roger and the Rogers Pirates or whatever, this would be longer. That battle on God's Valley and everything that led up to it, we would get the whole, kind of like Marinefoot. You get all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
What we got in little chunks. You know, we didn't get all of the battles. We didn't see like, Gabon get a full battle. You know, I guess Sanji would get a whole battle and Zoro would get a whole battle and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And it would lead up to Rogers doing whatever he had to do.
Okay.
We got a truncated version of that. All right, to let us know what happened on God's Valley. That's fine. Um, the Some of the information. Uh, let's get to the end of the last chapter, basically, which isn't out yet, but it'll be out by the time this airs. Um, it's kind of confusing in that, not confusing. I guess it's a nitpick. Three holy nights, okay, happened upon the down, Rocks, Rogers, and Garp. Okay, they take the opportunity to kill Rocks.
Yeah.
There's three of them though, and you got three people that's helpless basically. So I would say I'll kill him, you kill the other two, because the other two really don't need to live. To be honest with you, they need to be killed. So it's just three of us. Each one of you grab your sword and plunge it through the heart of the fella that's nearest to you, right? Now, allowing for the fact that Gabon and Rayleigh came to get their captain,
Yeah.
you could automatically include. We could assume that they didn't get the opportunity. Maybe they scooped. They were going to get their captain and take him away. That's fine, but there was only two of them, so they couldn't help Rocks. Maybe they just had to make a decision. Maybe Rogers, of course, said, save Garp. So they
Yeah.
could only get two of them, and they just took off. Maybe that's how it went down. I don't know. All we know is that they got Rogers and Garp and took off, and man got stabbed. All the three of them should be dead, to be honest with you, unless if they were efficient. That's all I'm saying. I didn't kill the three of them.
You talk about questions. You talk about questions.
So only thing we can assume is that Gavon and Rayleigh got there before they could kill the other two. Because they were within spitting distance of each other. They were in eyesight within, you could see them, the three of them. They were kind of like triangulated. Kill them all, but whatever. So
Mm.
that didn't happen. But when Garb gets back to Marine Base, why don't he, why is he still alive?
Questions.
Because I mean,
Questions.
he was at God
Look,
Valley. He saw what
look,
happened. He needs to
look.
be killed.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, not even well, Garp. But the problem, see, this is when we gonna get in the weeds because I'm just like, wait a minute. This is when things of all the things that have come out in this flashback, and you could say, well, he's giving you this because he wants to give us. And I guess I'll start by saying, firstly, I agree with you. There was opportunity here where we could have got a little bit more of this information previously. There could have been a Kaido flashback that gave us, whatever. So this wouldn't have been quite so much here. And then that Kuma flashback could have, you know, been a little longer and touched on this bit a little bit more. So it could have been spread out over whatever. And I guess one would assume that part of God Valley or this flashback is to give us motivations for Blackbeard and how so you took this opportunity, and to my mind we could have got a whole Blackbeard flashback, but you cut into that, so you've given us this bit, and I guess it's to set up who Emu is as a character when we see him possessing the possessed I can't even think of the name right now. The chick with the
Oh,
arrows.
he's talking about Gunko. Gunko.
yeah. There we go,
Gungo, yeah.
Gunko. Yeah. So when we get that Emu possessed Gunko fight, coming up, when we get back to Elbath, but those are, when we get into, Rocks is down, and you have Roger, and you have Garp, and so forth. And I'm with you in this. So the problem that I'm running into is why anybody made it off this island. So if it's no one can know Emu exists. No one can know Emu exists. No one. No one. You have the pirate who, as far as I can tell, in this era is only underneath rocks. So you have the second most acclaimed pirate in
Mhm.
Roger running around. You eliminate rocks. So at this point in time, he's going to get some kind of bump in level and so forth, and fame and whatever. And he has huge information in terms of Emu's existence. And then
Mhm.
on top of that, you have Garp running around, and nobody's supposed to know this.
Mhm.
Nobody's supposed to know this. Like, I don't understand how any of these members made it off that island in one piece.
Look, if
Pun not intended.
hey, right, exactly, right. But look, let's be gracious and say Rogers is a pirate. Once he gets off of that island, he's in the wind, and just like all the rest of the pirates, I won't let him down to be honest with you, but whatever. Let's just say he's in the wind. You know exactly where Garp is. He went back to work. He showed up at work the next day. Send assassins to kill him. Send the God's Knights to kill him. Silence him. Oh, you know what? Dami reversed the dude. You know what I'm saying? Because that seems to be like an unbeatable juice or whatever. Put him on your side and make him one of them Fang dudes or whatever. But don't let him walk around. If it's just if he could possibly talk about this, you got to eliminate him. Now, if they go back to Harold and don't explain why Garp is still alive, why he was allowed to run around free, I I don't know.
So what I'm saying is, they're not going to explain how. We're not going to get no explanation how Garp is still alive. I already know. I already know. Odin not going to give us that. I don't know why he's not going to give us that, but he ain't going to give us that. We're not going to be explained why Garp is still alive. So that's going to be something that just irks the hell out of me from this point forward. And I'm going to tell you, but to your point, and this is real talk to me. Not even the Gods Knights are a game changer. They're a
Mm-hmm.
game changer. So, quite frankly, and I don't want to get into power scaling because I know some people they say I don't power scale, which I'll call bull on. Everybody power scales to some extent. It's
Mm-hmm.
just what it is. You can't call bull on the writer if especially in a battle manga, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't power scale to some extent, whatever. So whatever. But if when Oda sets his stage for the world and he tells us the three great powers and all this other good stuff, the fact is they aren't all equal. We they just it's the nature of the beast. If Big Mom and Kaido make it off of Onigashima, if that alliance solidifies, there's nothing in the world that's going to stop it. Or you're led to believe this. The Gods Knights are a game changer. They are a game changer because they have this faux immortality. So they're not necessarily all beasts in terms of nothing that I've seen so far makes me think that they are Yonko level combatants, but they are strong enough and they have this immortality cheat, whereas they're a problem because you put
Mm-hmm.
them down, they're not going down completely, and then they are Emu accessible, so Emu can
Uh-huh.
show up and he could whatever. Nobody makes it out. Nobody.
No.
The Gods Knights are a
Yeah.
problem because nobody can touch Emu at this point. I'm not,
No.
at this point it was Rocks, Garp, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and Roger. All the six strongest people, as far as I know,
Yeah.
it slapped him and her, whatever Emu. And Moo was like, oh. rush this, whatever.
Right.
So the fact that the issue that I'm running into is nobody makes it out. I don't know how Roger makes it out. I don't know how Garp is still alive. I don't get it, and
And
they're not going to answer this.
and you see that's another problem in the present because the forces assembled at God's Valley dwarf what's at Elbath.
Yes.
Everyone in Elbath. I mean, I'm telling you, even if Shanks shows up, the life expectancy of the cast at Elbath, given the people that have been Dami reversed, should be very low. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of hope. Because you say, all right, Luffy's there. That's fine. That's fine. And he got the Nika fruit. That's fine. Um, he hasn't exhibited any. He Nothing tells me at this point that he eclipses Prime Garp and Prime Rogers. I
Oh,
mean, he's strong because at Egghead he couldn't put down the the five elders permanently. I mean, he was hitting them and he was doing stuff, but he
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
take them out. Now you've got the guys Knights and Emu himself is there, and he's Dami reversed a whole bunch of giants. Gabara's hurt, and even he's not in his prime.
No,
So
and
in
I'm
my
with you.
mind, Shanks has to show up. There's no question in my mind, unless he comes up with some other way to get out of this, or
I
Emu
mean,
just feel like he's had enough, and Emu just leave.
well, I think for me the biggest the biggest hurdle, because I'm not quite as concerned about this in terms of scaling, because God's Valley is a different level altogether than Elbaf. So that's just it's just it is what it is. In terms of Elbaf, when it shakes up, like I agree with you, and Emu has to he has to just leave because
Yeah,
Emu is the game changer at this point in time. I mean, I think for the most part we're just gonna go through another hockey bloom. Um, Zoro knows he can't control his conquerors at this going into the fight. So his objective going into the fight is I need to be able to control my conquerors hockey so that I can do damage to um, emu possessed or emu gifted cats. So Zoro's gonna be able to slap God's Knights or whatever. So you know what's going to happen in that regard. I'm assuming that the Nika fruit. My assumption is the Nika fruit is going to be able to reverse Dami Reversi.
it better.
So I'm just assuming that, quite frankly, because he has Dory and Bragi, and I think at some point Luffy's going to have to free him. So
And we
I'm
see
not
what it takes to do that. It takes Prime Garp, Prime Rogers, hitting them with everything they have.
everything. Yeah. So if
Everything.
unless and I don't know. That's just I agree, and that's
I mean, because another point of the flashback to me is it was going to tell you how they're going to get out of this in the present. Well, we do see how that you can, negate Dami reversing it. That's fine. I
yeah,
just don't know that they have the talent to do it on the island of Elbath at this time. Now, assuming that Luffy can come through, he would at least need, it would have to be him and what, Zoro?
yeah.
So you need two crazy strong dudes. And if you're telling me
But that's
that,
everything though in them, because then they were spent when
yeah, right,
I mean I don't know if it was because it was rocks, and then the assumption is well Dorian and Bragi aren't going to be on that level, but I don't know. I'm with you. This is
let's,
going to be some wild stuff. This is going to be some wild stuff. And then when they come out, when you hit them with it, they aren't. I mean, Rocks wasn't fight ready at that point, so he couldn't go
no,
anymore. So
right.
the assumption is they're going to be down, and those are, as far as I can tell, Luffy, Dory, Ragi, Zoro are the four strongest combatants, and Loki, I guess. So the five strongest combatants on
Okay,
Elbaf.
okay, I forgot about him. He's coming up because he already sent Sanji, Zoro, and some other people to fight while he's listening
Yeah,
to this story, which
to
is
listen to the
crazy.
story. Yeah.
It's crazy as
Hey,
hell.
we got time to.
I mean, it's kind of serious. You might want to go up and fight, but whatever. So he sent his subordinates up there to go and see what they can do. And then he's gonna come
Yeah,
up with Loki. So maybe it'd be a combination of him and Loki can reverse can negate the Dami Reversi on Gungo and get Emu off of the table, possibly, or at least get him out of her. I guess a lot of people have been
I don't
subjugated.
think
Is what I'm
so.
saying.
I mean, I don't think so.
So
Like you said, like when you get into powers and so forth, or where Luffy is at this stage of the story, he's nowhere near any of them cats that were on God Valley, as far as
I
I can
don't
tell.
think so. I
I
think
mean, people
he's getting close. Yeah, and he's you know for his hockey first of all. Aside from the Nika fruit, because in the end it's going to have to be hockey. They've been setting
yeah,
this
yeah,
up the
yeah,
whole
hockey,
way.
hockey, hockey.
It's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
his hockey is going to have to be superior.
It's
It's going to
got
have to
to,
be Joy Boy level.
yeah,
He's
it has
not
to
there.
bloom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So he's not there yet. I wouldn't even say that he's Rogers level yet, although he may be getting close. I guess I don't know.
I
It's hard
don't
to
know.
tell.
I mean, for me, I'm going to say not quite yet. So the issue is he hasn't had a moment for his hockey has to bloom again. And
Right?
this Elbath is going to bloom. So he didn't bloom on Egghead as far as I can tell.
No, he
And
didn't have to.
people can, you can hype whatever. I mean, he fought with the elders. Nothing really came of it. He was serious when he was fighting Kizaru.
Right.
So he was seriously fighting Kizaru. Kizaru wasn't seriously fighting him.
Fighting him. That's true.
So I
That's a
don't
good
know
point.
what that would have been. So people can
Oh,
hype. Well, he whatever. Borsalino wasn't fighting him. You know what I mean?
right, right.
He was trying to take out a
He,
Vegapunk.
yeah,
That was his
yeah,
objective.
yeah.
So I'm gonna throw you out my way, and then I'm gonna do what I got to do. So I don't know.
And then after
He,
he taking a mental buff after he kills Vegapunk because he killed his friend,
yeah.
he ain't ended after that. He's just like his shell of himself. You know
I
what I mean?
mean, that's when your boy Sakazuki said, whatever. He like you homie. You talking stuff, dog, but don't come for me, baby. Like I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. So we don't know exactly how we're gonna get out of Elbath, which is fine.
No,
They'll figure that out. But
I
what I'm
like that. But go ahead.
the flashback did not serve the purpose of giving us a clue as to. Well, I guess it gave us a clue. If you're as strong as Garp and Rogers, you can get out of a situation like that. So that's our clue. So you have to be on their level. So I guess we're gonna have to
I
see
mean,
elevate because I don't see no way around it. You know what I'm saying? They hit their man with everything they had, held nothing back, and they didn't even kill him, but they got Emu out of him
yeah,
or
yeah,
got Emu's curse off of him.
yes.
So if Emu, so that means Emu himself was still around or what?
I think
I don't know.
Emu bounced. So at
So he
some point,
bounced after they got the once you get the curse off of him, Emu's off the table.
no, Emu bounced somewhere.
Okay, earlier than that.
Yeah, Emu bounced. So they were fighting. So once he Dami Reversi rocks, Emu was like, "I'm good." He left instructions, kill everybody on the island, and he
And
was
took
like, "I'm
off.
good. I'm well. I need to be here.
So
To work."
next question. All right. So Emu's Dami reverse is a power buff, right? I'm assuming, right?
I think it is a power buff. It
So,
is a power buff. Yeah,
so he can buff people to be strong enough to the point where you need probably two of the strongest protagonists in the story to just get the curse off of him. That's
yeah,
not even speaking of his power. Okay, that's just what he can do to subordinates, correct?
yeah.
His own ability, if he stepped up in whatever form he, she, or whatever it is, stepped onto the battlefield, that'd be a whole different level, correct?
Well, he had possessed, if you recall, he possessed Saturn, and if you recall, he was struck by a combined blow from Kaido, and to be fair, Kaido just got that devil fruit.
Right,
Kaido, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Rocks, Garp, and Roger.
right,
So they all six of them hit, and he was like, "I'm good."
right, right,
I'm
right.
good. So if that's what's going, like, I don't know.
I need some clarification on exactly what they're up against. I need it, but
we're not getting
maybe
that anytime soon because I think Emu is going. I mean, like I've heard. and I think this might be true, as I'm starting to come around to the idea that Emu is going to be taken down by the combined might of Blackbeard. So that darkness fruit and the Nika fruit are probably necessary or going to have to combine
So
some
double
way, some form.
team
Yeah, I think they got the double team them.
Luffy and okay, and then settle up afterwards, or what?
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be together.
Or
We
could
go.
be that Blackbeard is not the final protagonist or
Oh,
antagonist or whatever.
well, I think he's going to be, but I think we got Emu's got to go down before Blackbeard. Like I think at some point in time we're gonna put out. It's gonna
I guess
be
so. I guess so.
it's gonna be Naruto Sasuke. Like whatever
Yeah,
we
I
take
guess
down
that.
Kaguya, and then he
Okay.
what you
Okay.
doing? I
Well,
ain't
all
doing
right.
nothing. I'm about to beat your ass. Well, what you doing?
Well,
I ain't doing nothing.
that's another thing because and I'm just throwing this out because it just occurred to me. Does Blackbeard blame Garp for his father's death, or is he even into that? I don't even know. First of all, is Blackbeard like a rocks dude and he's trying to avenge anything, or is he just on some,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
I'm
real
on my
curious.
own stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm real curious about his reasoning. I'm curious as to his motivation is. I want to
Because
see
I think
how.
he's too sharp to believe that. Because if he's not stupid, and if it's been reported that Garp alone took down the Rocks Pirates or whatever, as per the world news or whatever, he's not stupid enough. He was there, and I don't think he'd be stupid enough to believe that just because that's what's reported, that's what happened. He's
I
seen that too many times. He knows that they control the press and whatever. Now he can believe that Garp had some culpability in what happened to his father, but I
okay.
can't see him saying, "Oh, that's what happened." He could have talked to anybody. He knows he was on Whitebeard's ship. He could have told him. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So
that's
there's no way that he would believe that Garp killed his father off of some whatever. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. And then we don't know necessarily yet what happened with his mother.
Right, right.
So,
That's true.
we don't know what information he has because his mother would be able to say, well, your father was possessed. Something, there's information that she possesses that I mean, I don't know. So I think
He,
you're right.
yeah, he could have accumulated the information as to what actually happened.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be.
I
It
think
wouldn't have
that's
been
possible.
hard. Yeah, it would have been hard.
And then he was on Whitebeard's crew, so it's a
Yeah,
question. I mean, the idea would be you would assume Whitebeard knows that Teach was Rox's son.
he would have. I believe he would have
I
figured.
mean,
He have to know that it
you
looked
look
like
like
this
you look like
it's
you
not
look
that hard.
familiar. So I don't know. I
Um,
mean, he should be sitting on information
yeah,
to some extent. So I don't know. I don't know about real curious.
and then another point that you brought up, your man Garp, freed his
Yo,
son. He freed his
yo,
son.
yo,
He freed his son. Now,
yo.
granted, his son might not have been up for execution like Ace, but he did free his son and let him go to do whatever he was getting ready to do.
I'm gonna
But
tell you
I mean, but that's kind of grimy, and then he let he let
what
that man Ace get killed. And Ace, you have to admit, Ace is practically his grandson
I
because
that's
he
weird.
left Ace in the same care that he left Luffy.
It's not practically. Ace is his
Ace
grandson.
is
Like
his grandson. I don't
that
care
is
what
what
you
it.
say.
And and
For
and I'm
all
gonna tell
intents and
you
purposes, that's his grandson.
that right there. Now, not to say whatever. I know we not getting no answer in terms of how these Bama's are alive. I know somehow or another they just are. You just got to deal with it, whatever. But somebody got to explain to me how is it Ace? I mean, Ace didn't get freed, but I'm a throw Dragon that key. You go ahead and go about your business. What the? It don't make no sense. That math not math. And then I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not one of them cats. I'm not one of those people who be like, I hate on Garp. Oh, he was there. Ace got killed. Whatever, whatever. Because I'm gonna tell you, man. I'll tell anybody to their face. Ain't no age limit on dreams. It is what it is. It is what it. I don't know why Garp's dreams are less important than Ace and Luffy's. Because I call bull on that all day. He
Uh-huh.
ain't. Pirating. When you go into pirating, you putting your life on the line for your dream. You've made a
Yeah.
decision that that's your dream, and somehow or another, God made it clear to those boys, this my dream is for this whole marine thing to be a family business. So somehow or another, when you take that stance, well, he let Ace get whatever, whatever. You make it clear that you've compared it. You decided that old people can't have dreams. I got you. No problem. No problem. Call it bull. Whatever. So it is what it is. Dreams ain't a lie. So on principle, Ace did what he did. I'm gonna let him be executed. No problem. I got you. Now you got your little cat. Dragon is in the cell. At the point where he's freeing people, I got a problem. I got a
Yeah.
problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at this point in time, you'd have thrown principle out the window. That boy got freed. How does this work?
So are we saying that in hindsight, he saw freeing his son as a mistake, therefore he let his grandson get
Uh,
murdered
I
and sat on
mean,
the execution stand waiting for them to plunge a dagger through that man's heart? I mean, man, look, even Rogers would tell you, Garth was like a twist and a turn away from being a pirate. He don't believe in the world government. He don't believe I'm telling you, he'd be an excellent pirate, to be honest with you.
I
But he wanted to protect
mean,
the Marines.
well, I got you. That's the only thing. He's there right now for the Marines. He's there for the Marines. I got you. No
Mm-hmm.
problem. But that means I'm still living by my own code. They got my grandson locked up. They say they're gonna kill him. I don't know, homie. That's
Nah,
not that.
nah. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't feel that. And so, and at this point, we're basically saying that Dragon and him are on the outs. Ever since that day, they don't mess with each other at all. Because Dragon basically was like, I
That's
hate you for some reason. Because he felt like maybe he thought God knew about this, knew about the whole God's Valley human hunt and all of that. Is
I
that what they
don't
said?
know. They
Because I
don't.
don't, yeah, I don't know about that.
I
Because
don't know either.
if you think he's in the tank for the world government, and he's just like a lapdog for the world government,
Well, I'm assuming the idea would be, to my mind, or the only thing that's coming to me is that, for all intents and purposes, um, Dragon joins the Marines because Garp has been on this. We're gonna be Marines. This is the family business.
right?
I'm a Marine. You're gonna be a Marine. And at this point in time, Dragon joins the Marines, and the Marines are monsters. You
Uh,
brought me in. You had me link up with these monsters. At this point, this is like these are monsters.
uh,
What I saw on God Valley was unforgivable, and I'll never
right.
forgive you. So that's the only thing I would
Okay.
assume is just going on. It doesn't matter, whatever. I'm a Marine because of you, and you've introduced me to the worst evil in the world.
Okay. I'm curious on just on a side note what Dragon's opinion is of pirates. Because he's cool with his son being a pirate. Because he's just cool with his son following his own dreams or whatever.
Well, I
But
mean,
he don't.
Dragon. I mean, Dragon.
Dragon, I mean, he runs with pirates. I mean, Cole was a pirate basically. A bunch of the people that he rode with are pirates.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
I
know,
mean, he a
Dragon.
double agent pirate, but whatever. I mean, whatever. It's kind of like queers the lines between what's and what.
It's a lot of queer lines because, truth be told, his I'll never, I hate you, you're worthless, whatever, whatever. But here's my son. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know because you wanted me to whatever. Obviously, he's going to do the same thing. He wants him to be a Marine.
Okay.
You're going to trust him with it? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But one of like I say, Guys Valley, it gave me a lot of high moments. One of my highest moments is just seeing Prime Cop. This is savage. That man was just straight up. He had future Yonko running just straight up. They was like, screw this. Don't even bother fighting this dude. Just take off. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want no part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if Whitebeard and Big Mom and them tried to jump him at that time, they couldn't have won, but they didn't feel like it was worth the effort. They was
I
like, get the
mean,
treasure and let's go. You know what I'm saying?
well, the treasure being, Shaggy. I mean, white they come. Whitebeard a different kind of cat. He made it clear, I can't fight him because if I fight him, then I'm gonna be here all day,
Yeah.
and I'm here to get Shaggy. Like
Right.
that's what I'm here for. So I mean, Garp he's some next
That was
level. He,
he was
I
yeah, I love
yeah,
seeing Prime Gump. Man.
yeah.
Prime Gump was a he take was it Big Mom hit him with some fried joy. He didn't
Yo, he
even
tanked
feel
it.
it.
He tanked it. He said, "Ha ha ha."
With a member smiling from your big attack. That's messed up. It's
Yeah,
hard to bounce. I would mess with that dude. Yeah, I got that was cool. Dragon was, he was kind of. I like seeing where his head was at that time. Clearly, he was just like cadet or whatever. He wasn't
yeah,
even that. He wasn't
yeah.
nothing special at that point. But I still would like to see how he developed into what he is now, and exactly how powerful he is. Because yeah, it could just be he's a fierce leader and he's not really that strong. But I just get the impression that he's crazy strong because all of these D's are pretty strong. So whatever. But like I said, God's Valley was entertaining. It was cool. It's kind of truncated, but it was a lot of information. Not all of it was necessary. I mean, I ain't need to know Rayleigh and how Rayleigh and Shaggy hooked up. That don't really matter to me. I know they was married. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if it was part of the incident and part of the reason why they had to go to the God's Valley, that's fine. I mean, it's like I hate to invoke Ron Rivera, but he said that some things is interesting and some things is important. you know, a lot of God's Valley, what happened on God's Valley was interesting, but there was more interesting than important. Not to say that there weren't things that were extremely important, yeah, but there was more things that were interesting than there were important to the current story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you
So
saying Elbath as opposed to
yeah, because
him?
I mean, this is all well and good, but we're in Elbaf, and this is One Piece, and this is Luffy's story. So relevance to Luffy's story in Elbaf at this time, a lot of that stuff was interesting, but it wasn't necessarily important, in my opinion.
No, I mean I agree with that, but I will say that for I think this is going to have far-reaching,
Future implications.
yeah,
Yeah,
future implications. So I
yeah.
think it's going to prove um important as the story goes on. Because, like I said, I think that you touch on the motivation for Blackbeard, and you get a
Mm-hmm.
little taste of
For
East.
sure.
So it's going to have future implications. But I agree with you in terms of Elbath, not so much yet. I don't see how this factors in.
And they've been beefing. They've been talking about Elbaf since the the East Blue Arc. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is huge. This is where I'm not. This ain't like the end of the line, but this was a huge part of their journey. They wanted to go to Elbaf. They wanted
I
to see
mean,
the giants.
I still think we're gonna get. I still think. I think that well, I'm hoping that Elbath is going to prove huge for the Straw Hats. Not to get sidetracked, but like when Law fights Blackbeard, when I mean, yeah, when he fights Blackbeard and he talks about that hockey bloom and the effects of, or what I come out of that fight with Big Mom and Kaido. I come out with this hockey bloom and I can go toe to toe with the Yonko. That's real stuff. So I feel like Elbath is going to be that. At least I'm hoping for the Straw
Mm-hmm.
Hats.
Yeah.
At this point in time, Zoro he has to go through a hockey boom.
Mm-hmm.
Sanji has to go through a hockey
Yeah.
boom. At
He
this
got
point,
conquerors. Everybody knows he got conquerors. It's just a matter of
oh,
no name
well,
front. He
I'm
got
gonna go
conquerors. He
ahead and
got
say this is a theory. We dropping it right here, whatever. And this come from my boy, so shout out Joseph. But essentially his idea is essentially he not going to necessarily have conquerors hockey. The man it's just going to be love, and it's going to be
yeah.
he,
Yeah.
how he hits people, not whatever. It's going to be about the same thing, but yeah, for all intents and purposes. But he has to have something. and he has to
You
have a
say love
bloom.
is stronger than hockey.
Love, love is
That's the next evolution of hockey.
yo. That's just what it is. Because I was like, yo, I just don't see how I don't like how if it's called Conquerors hockey, Supreme King, then to my mind, you have to be somebody that's exhibiting
Yeah,
something about you has to say, I'm conquering something in some form, some fashion. If I'm being perfectly honest, Whitebeard's on the cusp of being allowed to whatever. But some people, I don't, why do you have it? Like, I don't know that to me, everybody needs it. So, and Sanji's one
yeah.
of those characters that
You don't want to conquer
just,
nothing.
like,
Yeah,
what is, like, I just, you giving it to him because just giving it to him. So, he was like, well, it's love and, whatever. He's a soldier of love. And I was like, I was like, well,
fair,
maybe. Let me give
fair.
it some thought. Let me give it some thought. But
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm putting my boys.
Long as he's on, a level comparable to Gaman,
He has to be,
he has
I
to be. Because
mean,
if you're setting all of this up where, dudes is
uh,
comping people to people,
and then Bama's getting pushed out, and this stuff getting irritating to me. Like I don't know,
niggas, honestly, old man Gabon was about to clean out the guy's things before he got, like stabbed up. They was worried. They was worried. You, so old man Gabon wasn't no joke. In Alabama. I ain't talking about
Yeah,
Prime either. He was about
yo,
to
that's
clean them
real
boys
talk.
out.
That's real talk. So
So,
Sanji got to be. And I mean, I just Sanji got to get a fight. Like I don't know, man. Like some stuff, not to say whatever. And I don't mind. Just looking backwards, on Egghead. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad had Sanji got oh man, what's my man name? Dang, nabbit.
which one?
Uh,
Come on,
Lucci.
Rob
Yeah, there
Lucci.
we go. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
him cleaning out Lucci in the
I mean,
face.
I think
I
that
ain't
would have
even
been
gonna
a
say,
nice
yeah.
fight.
I
That would
don't
have been
even
a
know
nice
why
fight.
Zoro was fighting that dude. To be honest, he should have killed that man quick. He should. I mean, honestly, after taking out King, I don't think Lucci should have been that much work.
I don't know that he was technically, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I think, well, I'm gonna tell you, to my mind, like that speaks to, people can hype whatever if you want to, but like if you want to talk about pound for pound, the nastiest cat I've seen in all of One Piece, for real, is that man Shanks. I mean, you can say, well, he one shot at whatever. I mean, and then the other Yonko, I think any of the Yonko could have one shot at anybody. The
Mhm.
idea is, and I want people, when you go back and you read this stuff or you watch it or however you consume it, just check to see how many Bammers hit cats with named attacks off the break. Don't nobody do that. Don't nobody do that. Like I'm trying to tell you, you got Shanks and you had Roger smack that man Odin. Like real talk, people don't come with these nasty named attacks off the jump. Nobody
Yeah,
does that.
yeah,
Shanks said, "You know what? I'm coming with it." With like, when we meet Kaido, he get all these hits from Luffy, whatever, whatever, and then he slapped him with the Thunder Bag. I mean,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
nobody start off with "I'm hitting you with everything I got" off the jump. Nobody
Yeah,
does that.
I got you. I got you.
Nobody, and so I'm it's like so Zoro not smacking Lucci down at the beginning, whatever. I
You
mean,
can say, and there's no justification for that. No, there's no realistic justification. You can say he was. No, I can't. Honestly, I can't think of one justification for why he fought Lucci as long as he did, other than
no
the plot.
justification.
Because if you're saying that you wanted to keep him out of the battle, then kill him, and he won't be a factor at all. You
And
don't have to delay him. You just put him down and then keep going, and he's not a factor anymore.
and it's moments like that that irk me because, and I know we talking about God's Valley, guys, and I apologize, but it's moments like that that irk me simply because it's serious stuff going on at that point in time. Like you have Luffy, as far as we know, he's trying to protect Vegapunk. He's fighting Kizaru. Um, the Gorosei show up, and you still playing around with Rob Lucci.
Kill him.
Well, you the second strongest cat on the crew. You are needed
Yes.
it's whatever. You don't have time to play games. I know you know what's going on. You feel it with your observation.
Yes.
It is like I don't. Like, what
You
are you
know that,
doing? Like,
yeah. Observation tells you that they are insanely powerful batters all
yeah,
over the place. You ain't got time for this.
you ain't got time for it.
He
You ain't
don't.
got
He
time
does.
for
Rob Lucci does not matter. You put him down as quickly as you can, and you go help your people. You know, he even ran into that dude, that horse fellow or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He got into it with him after the fact, so he knew he those. That's the kind
it.
of people that
Yo,
were running around. You know what I'm saying? While you try
yeah,
to find yourself a Rob Lucci. Anyway, that's off the point. Anyway, so that's where we at with God's Valley. Like I said, I had the God's Valley flashback. You can say you call it the Loki flashback if you want to, but it's the God's Valley. Matter of fact, to this point, I've been calling it the God Valley arc.
well,
Elbaf
well,
arc, whatever. So that's where we at with it so far. I'm gonna get back into it on the following week. Um, since we're not taking breaks, it don't look like we have a break this week.
no,
So we'll have more to talk about. But yeah, this was God's Rally was nice. It was alright. It was alright. It was it was cool. I like it. I just want to see what comes of it. You know.
yeah, I'm with you. I liked it too. I have enjoyed it, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's some stuff that's just plucking some nerves. I can tell you that.
A little
So,
bit,
but
a little bit. We'll see.
yeah, yeah,
All right. So let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know your opinions on God's Valley and how you think that this will contribute towards the Straw Hats surviving in the LPAC. So until next time, bye from the Crisis Corner. Stay loose.